Money doesn't whisper in football, it screams. Every summer, you hear it in the roar of the crowds, the click of the cameras, the rumble of the private jets landing with someone's next obsession on board, and behind every billion-euro headline, there's always the same silent question. What's a player actually worth? Because sometimes a transfer isn't about logic, it's about faith. It's about what fans believe a single person can do to change everything. But faith has a price, and in modern football, that price starts with Neymar. 200 million euros, still the loudest deal the game's ever seen. PSG didn't just buy a player, they bought an era. They wanted the flash, the flair, the status. Neymar was supposed to make Paris the capital of football. For a while, he did. The rainbow flicks, the effortless confidence, the Champions League nights where the whole stadium felt like a movie set. But it never quite became what it was meant to be. Injuries kept breaking his rhythm. The dream became frustration, then fatigue. And when he finally packed his bags in 2025 to return home to Santos, it felt like football had come full circle. The prodigy who left Brazil to conquer Europe returned as the man who changed the market forever. He's not the best player in the world anymore, but maybe he's the one who changed it the most. And you have to ask, was he worth it? Maybe not in trophies, but in influence? Absolutely. Neymar's transfer rewrote football's DNA, because every deal since has been chasing that same kind of noise. The chaos of shock, disbelief, and possibility. He set the tone for a decade. Agents demanded more. Clubs took risks they once feared. TV rights inflated. Sponsorships doubled. The Neymar effect wasn't just on the pitch. It was in the way football saw itself. He made players realize their power. He made clubs realize they were vulnerable. Every record signing since has lived in the shadow of that 2017 explosion. Then there's Kylian Mbappe, the prodigy who grew up watching Neymar's rise and then became his equal. PSG paid 180 million to Monaco in 2017, one of the biggest deals ever. But his 2024 move to Real Madrid? Completely free. No fee, no buyout, just destiny fulfilled. Mbappe was never just a teenager. By 18, he'd already become the face of PSG. By 19, he'd won a World Cup. He brought electricity back to football, that raw, fearless speed that made you jump off your seat. At 26, he's finally at Real Madrid, chasing the one thing missing from his career, a Champions League. And you can tell that he's still hungry. Maybe Mbappe's greatest strength isn't his speed, it's that he's never stopped believing he's destined for greatness. The money? Irrelevant now. He's proof that legacy doesn't always come with a price tag. Sometimes it walks in free. There's something almost poetic about how Neymar and Mbappe's stories intertwine. The teacher and the student, both leaving Paris for something different. One going home to finish his journey, the other leaving to start a new chapter in football's most demanding stage. Real Madrid isn't a destination. It's a final exam, and Mbappe knows that. He doesn't smile as much anymore. His eyes look colder, more focused. Maybe he knows. Greatness doesn't come with hashtags. It comes with silver. But if Mbappe and Neymar were the fire, Ousmane Dembélé was the chaos that followed. 148 million euros for a winger who seemed built in a lab to thrill and frustrate at the same time. At Barcelona, he was unstoppable, for about 2 weeks at a time. Then the injuries came, one after another. His talent was undeniable, but his body refused to cooperate. Still, when PSG picked him up, something shifted. The smile came back. The joy returned. He's dribbling like he's got no fear again. It's wild to think, after all the setbacks, Dembélé could still end up being one of the great redemption arcs of this generation. And he did. In September 2025, Ousmane Dembélé was crowned Ballon d'Or winner, proof that the game still rewards brilliance, no matter how long it takes. If he stays fit, if he stays focused, maybe this isn't just a comeback. Maybe it's his era, and maybe that's what keeps us hooked. Players like him who make football feel unpredictable again. Because Dembélé isn't about statistics. He's about that moment when you lean forward on your couch, not sure what he'll do next. That's the kind of chaos football needs. And then there's Alexander Isak, 145 million, from Newcastle to Liverpool. This one felt like a chess move, not a gamble. Liverpool wanted a striker who could glide, not just sprint. Someone calm, clinical, and confident under pressure. Isak isn't loud. He isn't flashy, but that's exactly what makes him terrifying. He's a reminder that sometimes greatness doesn't shout. It waits. Watching him now, leading the line for Liverpool, you get the sense he's about to explode into that world-class bracket. But will he rise to the price paid on him? Maybe that's the story we'll still be telling by May. Liverpool fans know that feeling, waiting for the moment it clicks. Isak's movement, the subtle way he creates space, it's not about highlight reels, it's about moments of control. He's a finisher made for big nights, and with players like Wirtz behind him, the chemistry feels inevitable. It's not flashy, but it's frightening. Of course, for every rise, there's a fall. And few falls have hurt fans more than Philippe Coutinho's. 160 million. The man who left Liverpool to win big at Barcelona. He was supposed to be their creative saviour. Instead, he became their cautionary tale. The move killed his momentum, his magic dimmed. And cruelly, the money Liverpool earned from selling him was used to build the team that went on to win everything he left for. It's one of football's strangest ironies. The artist who painted Liverpool's canvas never got to see the finished masterpiece. Now, back in Brazil with Vasco da Gama, Coutinho still smiles when he talks about the game. Maybe peace, not trophies, is what he needed all along. And maybe that's the truest part of football, that it doesn't always reward the dreamers. Sometimes the price of ambition is peace. Then there's João Felix, 126 million, Atletico Madrid's dream-turned dilemma. Just 19 when they signed him, a teenager carrying the weight of a club's expectations. You could see the talent from day one. Silky, creative, and brave. But Simeone's system was iron, and Felix wanted to play jazz. It never clicked. The pressure, the price tag, the expectations, it all crashed down. Loans to Chelsea, Barcelona, a few flashes of brilliance, but never a home. And now, in 2025, he's in Saudi Arabia with Al Nassr. A twist no one predicted. But maybe it fits. A player built on freedom, finally playing with none of the European weight on his shoulders. Is it the end of his story, or the calm before a comeback? Hard to say. Some players burn bright early, others reignite when no one's watching. Jude Bellingham never needed to reignite. From the moment he stepped onto Real Madrid's pitch, he looked like he belonged. 103 million and not a single doubt. At 20, he captains games with the body language of a veteran. He wins duels, dictates tempo, scores crucial goals, and celebrates with a swagger that reminds you football is still supposed to be fun. Real Madrid didn't just buy a player, they bought their next leader. And you can see why fans already whisper his name next to Zidane's. If he keeps going like this, we might be watching the story of one of the greats unfold in real time. Florian Wirtz might be the next one in that lineage. 125 million to Liverpool, the calmest player in chaos. You watch him play and it's like time slows down. He's the quiet conductor in a stadium full of noise. It's early days, but he already feels like the heart of something new. The Premier League's speed hasn't scared him. It's challenged him. Every touch, every pass feels measured. And maybe that's why Liverpool fans already chant his name like he's been there for years. Will he rise to the price paid? Judging by how composed he looks, it's not a question of if, it's when. Enzo Fernandez, another player with something to prove. 121 million, Chelsea's record signing, and perhaps their only consistent light through the chaos. His passing range is unreal, his temperament rare, but football's not a one-man show, and he's had to hold together a team that can't stop changing. Yet, through it all, Enzo's never hidden. Injuries, managers, pressure, he just keeps showing up. Maybe that's what makes him special. The stats don't always show resilience, but fans see it. You watch him play, and you get the sense that when Chelsea finally clicks, Enzo will be the reason. And then there's Eden Hazard, the magician who taught a generation to love dribbling. 100 million euros, and one of the most painful what-ifs in modern football. Injuries stole his joy, his rhythm, his explosiveness. But if you close your eyes and picture peak Hazard, twisting defenders inside out, smiling as he walks past tackles, you realize the money never defined him. The moments did. The things that made you fall in love with the sport. That's what's left. That's his real legacy. Look at all these players. All these stories. Every transfer is a reflection of football's obsession with potential. Neymar broke the system. Mbappe mastered it. Bellingham might redefine it. Felix and Coutinho remind us that it can destroy you. And somewhere, another player's agent is already negotiating the next record-breaking deal. Because football never learns. It dreams. And maybe that's okay, because beneath the greed, the marketing, the absurd numbers, there's still something pure about the idea that one player can change everything. That a goal can make millions of people believe again. That a kid in a small town can wake up one day, see their hero on TV, and whisper, "That'll be me someday." Money may dominate the sport, but magic still drives it. So who do you think lived up to their price tag? And who's still got something to prove? Let me know below. And if you love digging into the human side of these massive moves, hit subscribe to the channel, because next week, we're going even deeper into football's biggest gambles, and the dreams they bought along the way. Because in the end, football is still the most expensive love story ever told. And every transfer is just another chapter in the same beautiful madness.